Hello, I'm Robert Syrett, and today I'd like to present an audio effect I made for Audulus 3 called the Garbler PLL. The Garbler is the result of trying to recreate a phase lock loop, and then running other signals through the algorithm to enjoy the bizarre and squonky sounds it produces. In addition to vanilla phase matching, I have added parameters to the wave shaper that help extend the sonic vocabulary of this type of sound generation. The algorithm I'm talking about takes the incoming signal and compares the amplitude to a sine wave on a lookup table. Then it uses the distance between each instance of that amplitude to try and figure out the frequency. The algorithm takes that information and controls an internal oscillator to try and match that signal. As a side note, for best results, you want to have the sample rate set to 44.1 kHz if, for some reason, you wanted to use this as an actual phase comparator. The knobs are somewhat cryptic, as the functions don't really lend themselves to one-word descriptions. But, that being said, let's go over them, starting at the bottom and working our way up. To illustrate what's going on with each parameter, I'm going to be grabbing a couple of simple waveforms and sticking them in the left and right channel, and looking at them on the oscilloscope. The bottom knob is the dry-wet mix, with the dry being fully counterclockwise and the wet being fully clockwise. The Garbler uses an envelope follower to match the incoming signal. This slightly distorts the shape of the waveform, but it allows us to run any signal through it. The next knob sets the amplitude we are using to control the phase. With a pure sine wave, this gives a smooth, linear control over how the two signals align. But with the other signals, it can act as a kind of track and hold, or simply a weird timbre. The middle knob is a phase multiplier. This acts much like a hard sync sweep of the internal oscillator's frequency, and adds upper harmonics. The knob above that sets the waveform for the internal oscillator. It starts out as a sine wave and morphs between triangle, square, and sawtooth. This gives you another way to change the squonkiness quotient. At the top is a slew limiter, on the rate at which the algorithm updates the frequency. It doesn't seem to do much for a static sound, but will have more of an impact when we use it on the external audio. Okay, enough of this one note. I'm going to connect to a simple drum loop that I have running on the Digitact. Let's listen to the dry loop first. Now fully wet. Okay, I'll leave it on 50%. Now let's mess around with a phase comparison. How about the phase multiplier? And the waveform? Now let's try changing the frequency of the update rate. Okay, cool. I think that pretty much does it for the presentation. Thank you for watching. I'll leave a link in the description for the Audulus forum, where you can download this effect for free. Please leave a comment if you have any feedback, and leave a like if you enjoyed this. And now I will play us out by adding some modulation to all the knobs. All the knobs. Until next time, take care.